Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shangok, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at what is happening in the trailer to the upcoming Overlord movie, and why this trailer is a very good thing indeed. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's get to the topic at hand. And as usual, I will explain what actually happens in all the individual scenes that we have seen without spoiling the plot of the film at all, though there's still a spoiler warning for the individual scenes. First of all, to the many good news we got to see in the trailer. Because there was a fear that the Overlord movie would not be able to adapt some things from the two Holy Kingdom books, simply because it would be too bloody and unpleasant to see, even by Overlord standards. And after Arsh's End, the fate of the Swords of Darkness, and basically everything that happened in the Kingdom of Rhys Tais, including the downfall of this very nation, and which Crotch benefited from all of it, this might sound exaggerated, but it is not. It is definitely not. And so we come to see the first scene, and I will just explain what you see here. First, no, Yaldabaoth is still just an invention, or rather a cover identity of Demiurge, under which he operates, and the demon you see is not Demiurge's third form, but simply one of the evil lords, specifically the evil lord of Wrath. And yes, I can understand where the confusion comes from, because the evil lord from the Great Tomb of Nezarec looks quite different. But just like in most video games, you have different skins for most NPCs and creatures. And this skin, this appearance, the difference in it of the evil lords is also quite severe and serves a purpose of distinguishing. Because while one evil lord, that one from the Great Tomb of Nezarec, is a mercenary NPC, that is a monster created by Nezarec with gold, and that remains permanently in the world, the evil lord we see here was created by Demiurge, so it is his own summoning that Demiurge can control and unleash. And it serves as an additional cover identity, almost like a representative and stand-in for Demiurge, as he is of course very busy with the takeover of the Holy Kingdom, and therefore cannot constantly act as the great evil demon emperor. And his actual transformed, and in this case cover identity, as a frog demon, was used by Demiurge to deceive Emperor Jerknith for his humanoid appearance, as the demon emperor is, while quite hard to describe to the new world, still recognizable, hence the caution and the disguise. And next, we see Nea Baraya and Shizo Deltas developing friendship, and both are on an infiltration mission as Senpai and Kohai. And I don't want to talk too much about that here, but Nea Baraya acts more or less exactly as I imagined her. And I'm glad that after 11 volumes and 4 seasons, one of my favorite Pleiades is finally in the spotlight for once. And now we come to the scene that made me breathe a sigh of relief. Here, we see boys bound around the chest of Beastmen from the Bayfolk tribe. This sounds so wrong on so many levels, but let me explain. They are of course not doing this because it's the latest fashion, although things like the skulls of children are actually considered fashionable among the Bayfolk, but they are in the midst of an assault on a fortified city. They use these vulnerable human children as living shields because almost all the defenders of the walls are humans, and have great scruples about firing at children at that. And of course, Yaldabaoth knew this, and therefore ordered his strategy to protect his troops from enemy fire. How it all continues, and whether or not Nea Baraya, the girl with the visor and the bow, will be able to save the children and repel the attack, you will see in the film. Lastly, I want to shed some light on the club scene from the fight between the evil Lord of Wrath and Kalka Bezaris and the Custodio sisters. We see that the evil lord behaves no less sadistic and brutal than Demiurge, for he knew he was strong, stronger than Queen Calca and Kilat and Remedios Custodio, but he loved to show the supposedly strong and righteous heroes how weak they are, and that they can't do anything against his cruelties. That's why the Yaldabaoth double choose a very special weapon, a Holy Club, something I also used in Elden Ring at the beginning. And even though the demon here can't perform a ranged attack with this new club, the club has an effective morale debuff for the Custodio sisters, especially for Remedios. Her absolute sense of justice as a holy paladin prevents her from attacking and harming her queen, or putting her out of her misery. And on a human level, Remedios admires and reveres Calca Besaris with absolute and fanatical devotion. That's why the Evil Lord simply picked up Calca and used her as a club to harm Remedios, without her being able to defend herself, because if she did, she would only harm her queen more. And of course this was the point. And fun fact, or rather the blunt end, and fun fact, though not for Calca, it's not a coincidence, or just a style choice, that Calca Besaris walks around with an open helmet and relatively light armor, which is unusual for Overlord. And Calca already had recognized the so-called halo effect very early on in her career, meaning that beautiful people are more likely to be attributed positive character traits than ugly ones. And that's why Calca Besaris not only makes sure that her skin stays permanently young and fresh and has developed a special spell for this, but she also walks around with an open helmet and generally with very light armor, which again is unusual for Overlord. I mean, look at Albedo or Sheld here. And she does this to boost the morale of the troops and inspire them, because on one side the queen herself stands on the battlefield alongside her very own troops, and on the other side her beauty and thus all of the positive qualities, and let's call them reactions she triggers, are also a motive and motivation to defend her, because she appears brave but also vulnerable and beautiful and thus worthy of protecting, so everyone has to give it their all. Naturally, the fact that she was used as a blunt weapon with full force was therefore also devastating, causing her to suffer severe blunt trauma. And with this somewhat harsh description of the possible or impossible end, or the beginning of the Queen's martyrdom, I conclude the analysis of this video. Unfortunately, I must end with a bit of a damper. The CGI animations are very present, and sometimes, especially when you see the army, they look very unappealing, compared to the drawn and animated characters. It looks very artificial, computer-generated, and out of place, breaking one's immersion at times. But as I said, we kind of knew this beforehand, because it was also present in the first trailer. But despite that, I'm looking forward to the film. And with that said, now it's your turn. What's your opinion on the second trailer, or perhaps the darkest Overlord arc so far? Because the slain theocracy still exists. Let me know it down in the comment section. And while you're typing, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Other Daddy Other, ASK, Bad Guy Yi, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dinpep, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gaspar, Paddy Pentum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomir, Cune Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Zinukai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.